What do you think is the number one most damaging untruth adults tell to young people about work and success? You can be anything you want. Just do what you love. Be nice and people will treat you fairly. Follow the rules and you'll be rewarded. These are all strong candidates for their very own No More Illusions podcast episode. But for our very first episode, I'd like to start out with a classic, commonly shared illusion. Hard work leads to success. In this inaugural episode of No More Illusions, we're going to unpack this well-intended, seemingly logical piece of advice, why it's misleading at best, and what to do instead for career success. Welcome to No More Illusions. I'm your host, Joe Kwon, the Connection Counselor. I've been a creature of corporate America ever since I graduated from law school, so I've had my fair share of illusions held and illusions shattered. No matter what role or job I have at the moment, I always seem to find a way to teach, mentor, or share what I learn with others. And podcasting is one of my favorite mediums. I've had several throughout the year, such as Executive Presence Morsels, Diversity Bites, that's a pun, and C-Suite, also a pun. I'll share links to these in the show notes. Due to some changes at work that made me busier and more stressed out than normal, I put aside podcasting for a while until things stabilized. Once that happened, I started brainstorming ideas for my next podcast, and I owe this one to a work colleague of mine, Nick Taseski. We were in a networking meeting, and one of the icebreaker questions was something to the effect of, what do you know now that you wished you knew before? His answer was about how our parents told us and sold us on hard work as the key to success. That really resonated with a lot of people in the room, including me, and it got me thinking. So many illusions, so much wasted time spent believing the wrong thing, and as a result, not being as effective as we could be. How much would I have given to have learned some of these lessons earlier in my career? What a boost that would have been. And regardless of the topic I'm coaching or mentoring on, whether it's executive presence, how to get promoted, networking, or public speaking, helping people cut through the fluff and get to the real principles that work has always been something I love doing and the way I provide value and impact to my clients. Speaking of which, in response to my call for illusions, Dina Schuldner mentioned a version of this illusion stated as, keeping your nose to the grindstone will take you far. So why is it that hard work doesn't actually lead to success? What's missing? If you don't believe me, you don't have to take my word for it. Take a lesson like the Mandalorian did from the armorer from the show Book of Boba Fett, Season 1, Episode 5. The Mandalorian says, I want to try again. And he's very frustrated with continuously failing. And in response, the armorer says, persistence without insight will lead to the same outcome. Your body is strong, but your mind is distracted. One more time. Persistence without insight will lead to the same outcome. What's missing from an exclusively hard work approach is insight. What insight exactly, you may be wondering? Regardless of the arena, whether it is physical, mental, or business competition, this insight you need is to understand the principles behind what works and what doesn't. Or to put it another way, the levers of success. For example, in one situation, the lever might be finding the right champion for your career. In another, it might be figuring out what department or projects will put you on the fast track and which others will stall your career. In one situation, the key might be revenue. In another, that might matter less, and belonging and acceptance may be the key factor. There are so many principles and levers to consider. So now that you aren't worshiping solely at the house of hard work, which do you choose? This is where insight comes into play. Let's go over a simple 4-step approach to help you move forward with confidence to find more success at work. Step 1. Identify models of success. The great thing is, the way to be successful is already staring you right in the face. We just have to be aware and sometimes let go of our ego to see what other people are doing that is making them successful. Step 2. Resist the urge to mimic or copy those that are successful. Just doing what someone else is doing is not an insight, it's just mimicry, and it often will not lead to success for the reasons we'll explain in our next step. Step 3. Understand the principles or levers of their success. Clue: you don't have it yet. So what's going on is there is something, a principle or a lever that person's behavior or relationships or connection, there's something there that's contributing to their success. And what you see may only be the manifestation or the surface level. But what you really need to get to is the understanding of the principle that is helping them be successful and not the activity that's on top of it. Step 4. Work the levers that work for you. Again, don't copy, because what you need to do based on who you are, based on your relationships, based on how you're perceived, may be different than the person that you're seeing who's being successful. So again, copying is not the answer. The answer is to have insights and be able to apply those insights. Let me share with you a quick PSA or public service announcement. Leadership checklists don't work. One more time. Leadership checklists don't work. They're great, but only as reminders for people who already know what they're doing. They cannot help you succeed because they are too simple, too slow, and too limited in their application. Processes work, systems work, and good habits work to make change and move you forward. So remember, hard work being the key to success is an illusion. Once you release yourself from this illusion, you can concentrate on things that will move you forward, and that, my friends, is a beautiful thing. And if you do this, will bring me much joy. Let me know how it goes. If this resonated, you can join the Connection Counselor newsletter at connectioncounselor.com, where I share my reflections and practical ideas on work, people, and personal growth. Or reach out to me at joe@connectioncounselor.com to connect. Thank you. Remember, no more illusions. See clearly so you can soar. Clarity reveals, illusion steals.